Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Thursday. Welcome to our Ostara Crafting video. We're going to be talking about several different forms of craft, and these can be strictly decorative projects or they can be magical projects. It just depends on you and how much energetic oomph you want to put into things. So let's talk about our florals first. I have several examples to share with you because that is the one part of my Ostara Crafting that I do have done right now. The rest I'm still working on. So, to begin with, we have my wreath for my front door. Flowers, butterflies, little birdie in the nest. Got my wooden pentacle worked in there and you can see different types of greenery. And it's just this springy rainbow explosion because, well, I've had just about enough of winter and I need a little bit of color to help see me through the rest of the gray days before everything does really start coming back to life. And that also defined the theme for my witch's broom that I keep in the kitchen. Again, following that springtime rainbow, got a little butterfly up there and had a poor flower fall out. That happens, but with this sort of thing, if something falls out, you just kind of stick it back in. There isn't a whole lot of form with this type of floral arrangements. It's just whatever you happen to throw together that you think looks pretty. And then I had a few flowers left over, so I have this little vase that I put on the kitchen table. However, for my living room, because my color scheme in there is a bit different, I have this basket of various blues. And then for my bedroom, which has a lot of purples in it, I have this loveliness, which coordinates rather well with my background, don't you think? So you see, it's all about the flowers for me when it comes to Ostara, at least at the very beginning. Now, when you are making up floral arrangements, obviously these can be temporary or permanent, depending on whether or not you want to switch out flowers and different decorative items with the season. But if you are wanting to make something that's going to last a bit longer, just use a little bit of hot glue to keep everything securely placed. I like to mess with stuff. I like to have that freedom to change things around, so I tend to not glue things, and I just kind of when I feel bored with it, I switch it up, and then I'm happy again, and it keeps everything refreshed and looking nice around the house. Now, one thing is that if you are reusing wreaths like what I have on my door, or you're reusing your witch's broom and making it up over and over again, over a period of time, it will become more difficult to keep everything fixed. As you saw, I did have one floral casualty off my witch's broom. But you also have to keep in mind that broom is every bit of six years old. Yeah, so it has done me faithful service. But if you were only having to go out and get one of those decorative cinnamon brooms, because that's what that started life as, if you're only having to do that, every 6 or 7 years, and you can get a lot of different uses out of it, I'd say you are getting good value for money. And the same with the little wreath that I have on my front door. I think I bought it for $4 in the Walmart crafts aisle 7 years ago, and it's still going strong, and I see no reason to replace it. So you can get good value even if you are wanting to switch things up often. Now, as for colors, as you can see, I have a wide range of colors. But if you're looking for something that's more tailored to Ostara, more traditional, you might think your spring greens, that carrot orange, a sunshine yellow, bright whites, and you could even veer into the pastels with the soft purples, the sky blues, the pastel pinks. That's all harmonious with the season, and it's very suitable for Ostara because, especially depending on where you live. If you live further south, you might already have things in bloom, and think about the flowers that come up: hyacinths, daffodils, crocus, the very early tulips, the new spring foliage. Well, what colors do they come in? It's usually the yellows and the nice oranges, and these soft purples and the little bit of baby blues and the very delicate pinks and the whites. That's so it all works together. Other items you can incorporate into your floral arrangements would be little miniature bunnies you can get from the craft store if you have them. I've used birds. Specifically in my basket arrangement. Let's see, where's Mr. Bird? Ah, there he is. Just put him in kind of in the jumble of everything. It's just kind of a nice touch. Let's see, eggs would also be very good for Ostara, and as with my wreath, you can work in your pentacles or any magical symbols that's meaningful to you. Just use your imagination. You have a lot of freedom. Now, if like me, you just weren't quite feeling the hyper traditional color palette for this year, just go for the wild rainbow effect like I did. Because as I mentioned before, after winter and putting up with the gray skies, just the closer we're inching towards Ostara, the more I just want to be enveloped by color. I want to use every crayon in the box. I was absolutely that kid in school. And it's about having some relief from the austere winter landscape because there are little patches of grass that are starting to green up, but it's still pretty chilly where I'm at. There's lots of gray skies. The trees are not budding out yet. Even my forsythia hasn't started blooming yet, and it's a little depressing. I can be a good sport about winter from December to February, but after that, I'm done. I am done, and by the time we're in March, I'm ready for spring. And of course, if the traditional Ostara colors don't appeal to you and you are not wanting to do anything as quite as bohemian as my rainbow flower arrangements, just think about the established color scheme in a particular room that you're wanting to kind of do up for Ostara, and focus on making any florals work with that color scheme, and just so they give you that sense of freshness, that sense of renewed life, just whatever is going to make you feel, okay, spring has come back. That's the feeling you're looking for. Now, another thing you could be doing crafting-wise has to do with planting. For a lot of different plant zones, we are starting to get into the season where if we aren't ready to put things into the ground, we certainly should be getting our little seed trays ready. And some people like to start some of their plants in old eggshells, and it's a nice Ostara touch. Some people even decorate the shells for a little extra oomph, and it can look really, really pretty. So if you're good at painting or you enjoy it, whether you're good at it or not, this could be something you could do. If you decided that this year is going to be the year that you create your magical garden, you might start by growing a variety of herbs in pots. That's a very good way to celebrate the occasion of Ostara or to get ready for it. Having these herbs, it'll be handy for your day-to-day cooking and as well as handy for your magical workings. And if you have a kitchen that's nice and bright and sunny and you're able to grow it all there, well, I mean, just think of the atmosphere. It's going to be good stuff. Alternatively, you might think about acquiring a houseplant or two. It cheers up your surroundings. It can be very beneficial for your mental health. Ostara is about beginning the growing season again, and of course that requires energy. So keeping a houseplant that can also purify the air, that will aid your sleep, and that of course will restore you so your energy levels will start to come up, especially if you're having a hard time getting out of the hibernation of winter. Now, other crafts you might consider doing is to paint garden stones. They don't have to be Ostara themed per se or anything in particular, but the action of painting them, making them attractive to your eye, and sprucing up the yard with your own handiwork, that is in line with Ostara's spiritual themes. Make sure you're using an outdoor paint if you do this, and it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to use a protective coating on the finished product. And if you have kids, this is a very kid-friendly project, although I wouldn't advise doing this inside the house. Do it outdoors over layers and layers of newspaper, and you should be good to go. Something else you could do would be to make a wish bottle. Oftentimes, witches' bottles are used for more protective purposes, but for Ostara, we could make a bottle of what we want to see grow during the season. So whether you want to have a successful garden or you want to attract wealth, have improved health or more happiness in life, whatever your intention is, collect small things that fit into the bottle that represent your desires, put it in the wish bottle, and then when you're done, seal it really well, bury it close to your front door or close to your garden gate if at all possible, and let it do its stuff. Another idea is that you could create an outdoor altar if you have the space, and if you haven't already done this, obviously. Now that we're getting into the warmer months, it's going to be more feasible to have outdoor rituals. And it's nice to have a place outside just in general for making nature offerings. And the Ostara season is a really good time to do this. So hopefully you are now feeling excited, you are brainstorming, you're thinking about what you want to do and how to make everything nice and fresh and pretty and colorful again. I look forward to hearing about your projects. If you would like to, you can come tell me about them on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. There's a link to join in the description box below, or you can leave a comment here on the channel. And as always, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.